What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Eddie Hearn, Demetrius Andrade. Get this. Hearn expects to part ways with Andrade after May 21st. Parker bout, we tried everything. Eddie Hearn appears to be one stop away from getting rid of Demetrius Andrade. The head of Matchroom Boxing indicated in a recent interview that he expects Andrade, the WBO middleweight titleist from Rhode Island, to move on to a different promotional handler after his scheduled May 21st super middleweight fight. Andrade's debut against England's Zach Parker at Pride Park Stadium in Derby, England, Parker's home turf. The 168-pound WBO interim title bout between the 34-year-old Demetrius Andrade, which is 31-0 with 19 KOs, and Parker, 22-0 with 16 KOs, will be promoted by Frank Warren, who beat out Hearn in a purse bid held last month. Warren submitted a winning offer of $1.8 million. Hearn came up short, turning a bid for $1.7 million. So Hearn said that there is essentially no point in continuing a promotional relationship with Andrade, as neither Hearn and his streaming partner DAZN nor Andrade are able to chart out a future that can mutually be beneficial. Hearn admitted that his inability to deliver a big fight for Andrade contributed to the decision. He also implied that Andrade, a tricky southpaw with limited commercial appeal, failed to do his part by drawing subscribers to DAZN. He said, "I expect this to be the last fight with Matchroom, to be honest with you," Hearn told pro boxing fans. "I think that we've sort of worked the best we could for Demetrius Andrade without delivering him the big fights that he needed. We tried everything. It's not his fault, and I don't think it's our fault either. I think after this fight, he should look for the option out there available to him. We've got options for him. We'll present them. We've been working real well together, but without any real benefit with each other, if that makes sense." Those are the words of Eddie Hearn. Let me counterpunch. Eddie Hearn is good with not pointing the finger. If you notice, it's not his fault. It's not ours either. It's somebody's fault. And what it is, he's saying that he didn't have the appeal. When you didn't have the appeal to draw subscribers, you're by default saying it's Demetrius Andrade's fault. Okay, and I've noticed something about Andrade. Andrade's a good dude. He has some clever talk here and there. I've seen some interviews with him. And it would appear like he does have appeal in some instances, but I don't think he doesn't have the Adrian Broner flashy-like appeal. He has more of a kind of hybrid style. Yeah, I can talk, but I'm sort of passive. And when when you decide to speak on certain platforms, and then you have this passiveness about you, and you put them together, I don't think that's appeal enough for DAZN. So he wasn't bringing in the numbers. Okay, he wasn't bringing in subscribers for DAZN, and DAZN got tired of paying him. That's basically what this is about, and it's not all Demetrius Andrade's fault, because all Hearn can do is submit negotiations or contracts to other fighters. Charlo turned that shit down. I think he turned down like $7 million to fight Andrade. But that, what happens on the PBC side is not his fault. The problem is with Andrade, he's in a division where the guys that he could fight to be who he really needs to be won't fight him because they're with a promotional company that is kind of like Fidel Castro. Let's be real. They don't let those fighters fight out of the house. Everything pretty much has to be in-house. That's why you see so many shitty fights. Unfortunately for Demetrius Andrade, it's not working. And they don't see the appeal of, even though he's an undefeated guy, they don't see an appeal of marketing him. Okay? But a lot of that lies on himself again with his kind of semi-passive aggressive personality. But you know, again, if he can't get anybody in the ring, Canelo won't fight him. And Canelo really put him on blast. You know what I mean? The star of boxing calling this fighter that's unbeaten a horrible fighter. You fight nobody. You know what I mean? Like, you want a payday. Like, it was bad for Andrade, because Andrade really didn't come back with anything. You know what I mean? That was his time to shine, and he didn't shine. Okay, and I think because Canelo is the bright shining star of boxing, I think that put a damper on his promotional outfit too. You know, so but he didn't bring the appeal. I seen it coming, because I'm like, okay, Demetrius ain't fought in a while and ain't fighting the guys we want him to fight. You know what I mean? So it's not really a good look for Demetrius Andrade. You know, and you know, again, he's one of those fighters that's falling through the cracks. You know, like Michael Hunter's another one. I think Michael Hunter's in a better position than him, honestly. But, you know, they were both with Eddie Hearn at one point. And they both pretty much the same deal. Like, they weren't really getting what they felt, or they weren't satisfying their promotional outfit. So they parted ways. And that's really how it goes. And it's just sad that so many fighters are not fighting each other, that you got undefeated fighters that are champions leaving their promotional companies because they can't even get the fights that they need. That's sad. But of course, this is boxing, the sport that I love, that I hate so much. You guys tell me what you think of Eddie Hearn splitting ways with Demetrius Andrade. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.